Good morning, students. I'm Sunny. Welcome to your computer class. Students, today we are going to move further with our chapter, which is HTML. Before that, I would like to ask you that if you have read the chapter. If you have not read the chapter, I request you to pause the video here and read the chapter and then resume the video. So for those who have already read the chapter, we are going to move further and we'll do a quick recap of what we have learned. So students, what we learned in our last class was about the HTML basics. We learned about the HTML, the full form of HTML, which is hypertext markup language. We learned about what does hypertext means, what does markup means, and what does language means. We learned about Tim Berners-Lee. We learned about CERN, which is in Geneva, Switzerland. We learned about client. We learned about servers. So we learned about HTML tags. We learned about HTML editors, where I spoke about what you see is what you get, and we discussed about the text editors which we will be using to create the website. In what you see, what you get, we discussed about Adobe Dreamweaver, where I explained that you don't need to know a programming language to use this, because this doesn't require a programming language. You can simply go ahead and just by using the buttons you can create a website. So more you should be knowing about the tool rather than knowing about the language itself. So we will not be using what you see, what you get. We will be using the text editors, like I said in my last class. So text editors, what is text editors? It is used to create the website. So this application is required to create the website. Now this is very popular among the web developers. For those who are learning web developing, those who are learning web designing, for them it is very important for them to know the HTML language. Now students, in between this I would also like to make one point, which is that slowly HTML is fading out and there is a new language which is very quickly replacing HTML, which is called as XML. It is called as Extensible Markup Language. Now this XML programming is slowly gaining popularity and slowly HTML is phasing out. But HTML remains the core of creating a website as of today. So we need to know about HTML. Now, I would request you to make a note of XML in your computer notebook. Just above the structure of an HTML document, you can mention XML. You can put a dash and write Extensible Markup Language. This is important. Now, next the examples of text editors are WordPad, Notepad. You can see I've put some logos which are not that popular, which we have not seen or which we don't know much about it, like Vim. Then there is a Sublime, then there is a Bracket, and there is an Atom. There are a lot of others text editors also, but Notepad is very, very popular when compared to all of these. So students, what is the structure of an HTML document? Now everything has got a structure, everything has got a discipline. So when we are typing a language, when we are creating a website, there is a certain structure we need to follow. What are those structure? The first structure is the HTML tag. Now an HTML tag begins with HTML and ends also with a HTML, but the only difference is that in between these angle bracket at the end, you can see there is a / added to it, which is the off switch, and the one which you see above is the on switch. So when you have an on and off switch, then by default it is a container tag. Next come is the head. Now in head tag, this you can also see that between the head tag we have a title tag. So first I'm going to talk about the head tag, then I'm going to talk about the title tag. Now in head tag, we put information that is important about the web page, but this information will not be, you will not be able to see it in the browser. Why? Because it is only displayed just above on the tab and not inside the browser. It is a container tag. Next comes is the title tag. Now in between the head tag we give a title. Everything has got a title, so we put a title there. Now what is a title? You can suppose you're creating a website on my town or my city. You can just add the title there, my city. Next comes is the body tag. This is also a container tag because it has got an on and off switch. Now this is very, very important tag because the web page complete script is written between these two tags, and at the end you can see there is an HTML tag. So students, one thing very, very important is when you try to create a very, very simple website when the school reopens, we are going to do this in the lab. Please watch that you put a off switch at the end, which is at the end you can see I have put an HTML tag. Most of the time the developers and the people who work on websites forget to put the off tag, and at the end when you try to execute the program you will see the web page doesn't get displayed only because of this tag. So putting an off switch is very, very important for every on switch. Next we are going to move to HTML. Now how to create, save and view an HTML document. So students, I am going to show you a small video, right, which is going to take us through how we can create and see or view this web pages. So please be attentive here.
Creating, saving, viewing an HTML document. For creating an HTML document, use any text editor. Here, we will be using Notepad.
Just in case.
Step 1. To start writing on Notepad, go to Start, All Programs, Accessories, Notepad. Notepad window will appear. Step 2. Type the HTML code in the Notepad as shown below. HTML, head, title, my first web page, /title, /head, body. This page has been made by me using HTML, /body, /HTML. Step 3. After writing the complete code, choose Save As option from File menu and select an appropriate location to save file. Give suitable name to file and use either .html or .htm as extension. Step 4. To view our web page, click on Start button. Select Internet Explorer. File menu. Select Open, Browse. Select file from the location we have saved and click Open button. In the Open dialog box, the web page will be displayed. Alternatively, we can double-click on the file name and by default, it will open in our default web browser. Step 5. To modify saved file, right-click on our file, click Open with, Notepad, make changes and then again save the file.
21st November 2012.
So students, this is how the web page was created. You can see it here that how we went ahead and we created the web page. So this is quite simple. If you watch this video, you will get a brief idea about how this website is created, and it's a very simple program which they have used. Now you might find the video not audible here. That is the reason I have used a video which has got a text below it. If in case if you are not able to hear it, please see that it's written there. Just in case if it's not audible, you can read it and you can understand what we are trying to do it there. So we'll move further. Now next comes is the attributes. Now what are attributes? Attributes are special keywords which are used inside the tag which specifies additional information. Now what does this mean? This means that these attributes have some kind of characteristics which it helps us to use, like a different component which we can use in the website. We are going to learn about attributes more in detail because there are close to 7 to 8 attributes which we will be learning in this chapter, and I am going to walk you through all those options here. So we are going to stop the class here, and I would request you to make a note of your homework. So I guess there is some problem. So students, here is our homework. So what we are going to do is we are going to do true and false and answer the following question. So true and false we'll do it in the book itself, and answer the following question we are going to do it in the notebook. Yesterday we did question number 1, today we are going to do question number 2, and along with there is an extra question which we will be doing, which is differentiate between web page and websites. You know how to answer the differentiate between the following questions, how to draw the format and how to answer those questions. So please complete your work, and if in case if you have any doubt, feel free to reach me through the comment section. And so thank you students, and stay home and stay safe.